Okay, what is up, YouTube? HPJ here, and yes, the TCG is updated there for Forbidden Limited List, and it goes into effect May 18th of 2026. This discussion video is going to give you a rundown of each of the cards that are on the Forbidden Limited List, and let me be very real and very honest with you. I'm only really here for two cards that are got unbanned, and that's about it. Every other one that's on this list, you guys can have a field day of talking about in the comment section. I really don't give a shit. So let's just go through this. If I pronounce any of these cards incorrectly, it is what it is. So for the forbidden section, we have K904, we have Materia Rose Whip, and we have these Chaos Exceeds Gimmick Puppet Machinex. That's right, I'm pronouncing it. That's right, I'm skipping some names. Anyway, we go into the limit section. We have Cupsy Yummy, Fairy Tale Snow, Malice P White Rabbit, Cupsy Yummy Y, Branded Fusion, Metamorphosis, Premature Burial, Radiant Typhoon Chant. I think that's Ramu or Ra no Rahu Draco Tail and Synchro Overtake. Then for the cards that are semi-limited, we have Draco Tail Lucius and Draco Tail Artanelion. Now, there are no cards that are being unlimited this time around as we go into national season. And I also just want to make this very clear. I'm not a competitive player. If you're someone who's looking for someone to talk about competitive play and the major changes that are on this list, that is good for you. Because I'm not here to do that. The only things I will talk about are specifically a handful of cards on this list. Which I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised. I'm happy this card is back. I'm shocked this one is back. And then that's really about it. So, take it as you will. Materia Rosewood getting banned. I've heard from the OCG that I've seen that there's like decks that are being formatted around this monster. If you don't know what Materia Rosewood is, it's a level 3 Earth Attribute Plant type tuner monster that says you and your opponent can only activate one spell per turn. Basically, it's a monster variation of Anti-Spell Fragrance. Now, how is it more destructive than Anti-Spell Fragrance? Remember, Anti-Spell Fragrance only said you have to set the spell before you activated it. This is basically saying there's only going to be one spell or trap. It's kind of similar to that of, what is it, Dark Door, where you only attack with one monster. Yeah, this card is basically saying, yeah, we only get one spell per turn. Good luck, buddy, and I hope you pick something useful. Otherwise, you have to waste something to destroy me, and then you have to basically hope I don't have that your opponent doesn't have a way to such and summon me again, or get another copy of me onto the board. It's basically a preemptive of getting rid of this card so that other things that would happen in the game don't happen later. Which, to be very fair, understandable. Moving over is probably the two cards that I am extremely happy about. And one card that I'm not shocked that it's getting off the list is just only because its other cards are coming on board, and that is Fairy Tale Snow. Fairy Tale Snow is one of those older monsters that was in the game. She was relatively new back when she got released. Level 4 spellcaster, 1850 attack, and I believe 1100 defense. It's been a while since I had to care about this monster, but the reason we're bringing her up is simply because Fairy Tale Snow, um, and for the most part of what Fairy Tale Snow is going to be doing, is working with all the new Fairy Tale cards that just got released. Because in the most recent set here in TCG, Blazing Destruction? Yeah, Blazing Destruction. We're getting all of these new Fairy Tale cards to support this archetype. We got a Prince, they got a Fusion, they got a Link monster. There's a whole lot of stuff. And Fairy Tale Snow is basically what's going to incorporate a lot of things in it, because there are cards that search for her. There's going to be cards that focus on them being spellcasters and stuff like that. And even more so, the next set after this, which is Chaos Origin, is full of nothing but spellcaster support. Now, yes, I know a majority of it is going to be focused on Yugi's Magician of Black Chaos, because retrains. But it's still stuff that I've seen people play around with. And after all these years, we're going to finally see Yugi's, actual cards from Yugi's deck actually top. Which is crazy, because Blue Ice has topped more than he has and actually won the world. So, growing that shit when it's grown. Anyway, Let's also talk about the fact that we have now seen both Metamorphosis and Premature Burial come off the Forbidden Limited List in the TCG. I cannot believe this. So, Metamorphosis was first banned back in 2006, if I'm not mistaken. This card ultimately defined a metagame strategy known as GOAT format, where you contribute the GOAT token for the Metamorphosis to then summon the fusion monster Thousands Eyes Restrict. Now, some of you are probably saying, oh, that old thing, what is it really banned for? Well, because it basically stops your opponent and you from summoning from switching monsters into different battle positions. The only monster who could attack is the Thousand Eyes Restrict, and how many resources you'd have to use in order to kill the Thousand Eyes Restrict so that your other cards can actually do something. And it's crazy though, because a lot of people don't understand this. Metamorphosis is a lot crazier than what you think it is. And trust and believe, you haven't played the video games to really know how crazy this is. You can hear all the conversations about, OG players and stuff. No, let's talk about the real Yu-Gi-Oh players, the ones who were playing the video games and were planning out these crazy strategies that got used later on. Because you guys really don't understand the grasp of how good Metamorphosis is. And I'm not shocked that Konami is unbanning it, because there are a lot of new fusion cards that are coming out that are left, right, up, and down, and that are going to be extremely beneficial to things. But also be very cautious, because you're going to be having to take around this card. So what Metamorphosis does is that it's a normal spell card that says you can send a monster on your side of the field to the graveyard to then special summon a monster from your extra deck that is a fusion monster with the same level as the monster you tribute summon. It is not considered a fusion summon, which is ironic. But yeah, it can say summon is cheating a monster out of the extra deck. Now, this time in day and age, there were reasons why Metamorphosis never came off the list. Because it was really easy to pump out a monster of a high enough level to then Metamorphosis into another monster like Neteria Exterio. Some God, there's a lot of fusion monsters you can easily Metamorphosis off of. And the crazy thing too is that it's not even just that. What is it? Warrior of the Weight of the Last Planet? A warrior from another planet? There was a combo with that card. Guess what? You can Metamorphosis it out. Because it's only level 7. And with decks these days, you can easily drop a level 7 and then go, okay, Metamorphosis. And some people say, well, you have to search for the Metamorphosis. Have you not played Modern Yu-Gi-Oh? There have been decks created around legitimately singling out one card just to get one monster, or just to help out key into one combo. So even if the Metamorphosis isn't used in like a combo based deck, which is perfectly fine, there's still going to be strategies using this. I can even tell you now, Dogmatica is going to have a lot of fun playing a card like Metamorphosis, because you can cheat out cards from the extra deck. And then, okay, well, I'll cheat out the extra deck monster and then do some shenanigans on your turn. Here, Shadal Schism. Shit all this, shit all that. Shit all love a card like Metamorphosis, because guess what? It's going to send their monsters to the graveyard. And then their monster's going to trigger, and then they're going to get their fusion cards back. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of things you can use in Metamorphosis. Oh, and shout outs to the hero players, because now you get to finally use that Neo Bubble Man that's been sitting in, like, your trunk for the last decade or so, and you haven't had a chance to use it because Metamorphosis has been banned. So, I guess your +2 draw power for your Bubble Beat is probably going to be useful. Huh? Prema is up next. Premature Burial. This card was banned in 2008. It's an equipped spell that says target one monster in your graveyard, special summon. No, I'm sorry. Pay 800 life points, target one monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Equip that monster to this card. If that monster is removed from the field, destroy this card. If this card is removed from the field, destroy that card. Or that monster. So basically, yeah, it's a monster reborn that is an equipped spell, and you have to pay 800 life points for it. It's not a bad card by any means, because it was definitely used. It's probably just as generic as hell. I mean, but Snatch Steel's back, and no one's using that card. So, will Prima have the same effect? I doubt it. But I also want to just say this. I never expected Prima to come off the list. I never did. And Prima can be a very big game changer. In some instances. It's just a combo extender. Like, Monster Reborn can be a combo extender. But you don't see Monster Reborn in multiples. Why? Because too many Reborns can be very dangerous. So I am very curious to see how they're going to treat Prima. Outside of that, not really much else I want to talk about. No, there's really not much else I want to talk about because the only other thing is on here is like 2 cards from Draco Tail. I don't play Draco Tail. I just know they're fusions cards. So, um, yay? Not really. I just really want to come on here to talk about Prima and Metamorphosis because I recently did just pick up a whole bunch of Metamorphosis when they got reprinted in one of those rarity collections. And then on top of that, I was like really, really pumped because I didn't have multiple Metamorphoses. So now I have multiple Metamorphoses. And now Metamorphosis is banned. I think Metamorphosis is going to get unlimited. Not really. Because I think it's still, like I said, a lot of combo game that is still made off of this card. But Prima was the one I never expected to come off the list. I think it's very, very random out of the draw for the TCG to do. But it's not too surprising because this is the TCG. So I'm not surprised that certain cards are getting unbanned and then seeing how they test the waters. Because I remember when they unbanned Snatch Steal. And then Snatch Steal became a problem. They banned Snatch Steal and they brought Snatch Steal back. So, never say never. I mean, Change Your Heart is off the list now. And it's at 3. And a lot of people don't use Change Your Heart. Maybe because a lot of cards say they can't be targeted by card effects. Or you can't switch their control. So, it kind of makes sense there. But I was very, very shocked. Really. I really was. I never expected Prima. I somewhat expected Metamorphosis as a mimic to what the OCG does. But I never expected Primo. That was the only one I did not expect. I did not expect Primo. And then I didn't expect. I expected Fairy Tail Snow. And the reason why I expected Fairy Tail was because all the new Fairy Tail stuff came out. So, yeah. Alright, well, that's going to end my video here because I have other things that I need to go ahead and do. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed my conversation about Premature Burial and Metamorphosis, I mean, thank you for evolving it. Because there's going to be a lot of combos I know off of Meta and Prima that are going to be sparking around. So, it's going to be fun. Shout outs to those GOAT players who still kept their Metamorphosis and their Primas around. Then again, Metamorphosis and Prima have seen a couple of reprints. So. Well, more so Prima than Meta. Only because of the fact that Meta hadn't maybe seen 1 or 2 major reprints in like the last 20 years since it's been banned in TCG OCG. So again, that's a shocker. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will most likely catch you guys next time. So don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and with that said, HJ signing out. Bye.